Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and I know this one looks a little bit different. You don't get to see my ugly mug, lucky you. But what I wanted to do today was go through and do a PFF mock draft. They have a simulator up. They were advertising it yesterday, and I thought, you know what? Let's do it. It's going to be 3 rounds, and I tried to make this as realistic as possible with the settings, but PFF's always a little bit on the weird side. So I don't think it's 100% perfect, but I'm going to be honest. I gave it my best go, and if it works, it works. If not, oh well, now we know. But I figured why not have some fun on this Thursday? We'll do a little mock draft action. Love me some mock drafts, so let's hop into it. All right, so I wonder who I'm going to take first overall. Do we know who I'm going to go first overall? Yes, of course. It's Trevor Lawrence. This is the easiest draft selection of all time. The Jets desperately need help at the quarterback position because Sam Darnold has been ruined. He also regressed. There's a lot of factors for why the New York Jets are picking first overall and why they need a quarterback. It's not 100% all on Sam Darnold, but there's a lot of reasons for the blame, but he hasn't been good enough this year. If he did play at least even just league average, I don't think the Jets would be in a position to take a quarterback. But, yeah, well, that's your answer. So, all right. Obviously, now I can go a different way. I'm going to go with a cornerback, though, this time. And Patrick Surtain, to me, is the obvious choice just because when you look at what he's done at Alabama, I think he's the best cornerback in this class. So I'm surprised that he's there. To me, that's a top 10 pick. I don't know how he's possibly there for the Seattle pick, but I'm going to take him. Now, if I went corner there, I probably going to go edge at this point. You could maybe sell me on offensive tackle, but to me, edge is such a huge need for this team that, yes, I know he's down on their value, on the PFF value, but I don't know how you don't take an edge rusher at 33, and I think that's pretty good value for him. So why not? We'll snag an edge right there and pair him hopefully with a free agent. Normally, I would say the Jets would have another second-round pick from trading Sam Darnold. I could not do that. In this mock draft, I can't trade a player for a pick. So we're just going to roll this thing out and wait for the next time to come, which is the first pick in round 3, and then there'll be 2 picks in round 3, and that'll wrap it up. And we'll be able to see right there, which is intriguing. Travis Etienne falling all the way there. And why would Tennessee take Etienne? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand that for a second, but whatever. This is how PFF is simulating it. And now I am back. And what I'm going to decide to do, again, it could go a couple of different routes here, but I think the obvious choice is to help out Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to go wide receiver here. Something that the New York Jets should have done more during the Sam Darnold era was put pieces around him. Unfortunately, I think that's another part of the reason why he's regressed is in his rookie year and second year especially. There were not enough pieces around him. Also, you put an awful coach around him, which doesn't help anything. So I'll take a third-round receiver to pair with Mims, Crowder in the slot, and hopefully a big free agent wide receiver on the other side. Just adding some depth there to the wide receiver room. You can never have too much wide receiving depth because, as we've seen this year, you don't want to be in a situation where Jeff Smith is one of your starting outside receivers. So I can go a couple of different directions here as well. But I think what I'm going to do is go running back here. I really like the value of Gainwell in the 3rd round. I think he's a solid running back. And I don't know. To me, I think the plan for the Jets and for most teams, I go by the logic that you shouldn't take a running back in round 1. If you take one in round 3, I think you can get good value on it. And if you pair him with P. Ryan and maybe a free agent back, you should be in pretty good shape. But let's see how PFF liked my draft class. And they love it. They gave me an A+. Lawrence, no-brainer, as I said. Surtain, I don't see how he makes it to 25. Basham, I like the value at 33. They don't. The wide receiver out of OSU at 65, and Gainwell at 89. I think that should have better value. But I was surprised to see Dallas go wide receiver, and that wide receiver specifically is very shocking to me. I'm not a huge fan of this mock draft simulator, to be honest with you. I don't think it's very realistic because Surtain being there at 25 I would be doing backflips if he's there for the Jets at 25. To me, he's the number one corner in this draft class. And I would have figured that ETN would have been gone in the first round, but somehow he makes it all the way to round 2. And Tennessee picks him, which is, again, just bizarre, but whatever. And not like Najee Harris in round 3. To me, that's a round 2 player for sure. I don't know. So like I said, it's not perfect, but overall, I'm happy with what I was able to come away with in this draft class. Let me know what you guys think. If you liked my draft class, would you have done anything differently based on how the board fell and by positional value?